my name is Sarah and I'm going to be teaching the adult fitness classes online in our virtual rec experience. For this class, all you guys need is a chair of any sort and 2 water bottles. If you have weights at home, feel free to use those. If you don't, water bottles or even just cans would work perfectly, and that's all you're going to need. It's obviously very difficult to train and teach when you can't see you guys. So I want to make sure you guys understand before going into these exercises, you might have something that prevents you from doing an exercise well, maybe a previous injury or maybe a lack of mobility. So if you see an exercise you don't feel comfortable with, don't do it. It's totally fine. I will be providing modifications to either make something a little more simple or to make it more challenging. So I'm trying to get it to everyone who's watching, but if you feel pain or if you feel like because of a previous injury you're not capable of doing it, don't worry, and we'll just go on to the next exercise, okay? All right, so let's get started. I always like just to start with warming up and getting your heart rate elevated and getting your blood flowing, okay? So super simple. All we're gonna do is we're gonna step to one side and kick up that other leg, okay? We're gonna go back and forth, kick it up. If you need to be holding on to something like a couch, just do a simple motion of kick up and switch legs, kick up and switch legs, good. And for those of you that have a little more space in your room, you can be a little more mobile, go ahead and pick up the speed a little bit. The only purpose of this is just getting moving. If we've been sitting down for a little while, if it's cold in your house with the AC on, you want to get that blood flowing and warmed up before you do any strength exercise, okay? So just a little bit more movement, get a little bit of pep in your step, all right? And then we're gonna switch it over. We're gonna do knee to your hand, good. So do some high knees. Again, you can go as slow as you need if you need to be holding on to something. If you need to do just slow knee kicks, a little bit lower elevated, good. Or you can go high and picking up the pace, good. Nice. Like I said, all this is doing is getting your heart rate elevated. So it doesn't have to be too fancy. All right, now we're gonna move into jumping jacks. For everybody who's watching, I like to do low impact jumping jacks. So instead of a regular up and down, we're going to step to the side. Good, nice low impact. When we're doing this one, I want you to make sure that you're breathing big, strong breaths in through your nose and out through your mouth. I love practicing your breathing, okay? I know that sounds funny, but breathing is one of the most important things while exercising. Even when I'm just talking, you're not breathing properly, and it's hard to do exercises that way, okay? So big breath, in, out. Awesome, almost there, almost nice and warmed up. Good. Today we're going to be focusing on upper body movement, okay? So one exercise, or one warm-up, excuse me, that I like to do when we're doing upper body is really warming up your shoulders. So we're going to move into that, okay? One thing I like to do first, if we have the habit of having rounded shoulders, we want to push those shoulders first back and down, okay? Create that good posture. Bring your arms out like so. We're gonna do small circles forward, okay? Super small. What we're doing here is we're opening up our shoulder joint. We're moving those muscles. When we bring our shoulders back in that correct posture, we're opening up the mobility to do so, okay? These little movements, just like so, is gonna bring the blood flow into your shoulders. You can even start feeling your shoulders get a little bit warmer as we do this. Good. We really want to get the blood flowing right there where we're going to do our strength exercises, okay? Good. We want to start making those circles a little bit bigger, opening up that range of motion. Good. If you need to be seated while doing this, please do so. Good. Opening up that range of motion. Bigger, bigger. Good. And now we're going to do small circles with our palms up. Okay, palms now facing up. We're going to do small circles going back. Good. Just like so. And again, all we're trying to do is we're trying to open up those joints, warm up those muscles that we're about to be using. Good. And you slowly want to make them bigger. If you know me, you know we're always going to do this exercise. I find it so important to get the mobility of your shoulders really ready for the exercise, okay? Good. Make those circles bigger, bigger. Awesome. All right, now super simple. We're going to bring it to each side, crossing over. Again, opening up your chest, opening up your arms. Nice. Ready for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, let's get into our first exercise. All right, with this exercise, we are going to grab our water bottles or our cans or our weights, whatever is your preferred method. Our easier or more simple modification for today, we're going to be doing it almost the exact same. However, you can do it seated, okay? If you just did your warm-up and you feel like you need to sit down, totally fine. You can do this exercise exactly like, but standing up, okay? What we want to do is we're going to start with our water bottles just right here. Again, if you're seated, you just let your arms hang low, okay? I'm going to be doing it standing so you can see it. We're going to begin with our pinkies driving up. We're going to bring it up and down, okay? That's our front raise, and then we're going to bring it out to the side for our lateral raises. Up and down. Good. So that's 1. We're going to do that motion over. Each motion creates 1 rep. We're going to do 10 reps. Good. Forward and to the side. We want to have a slight bend in our elbow, okay? You don't want your arms perfectly locked out. And just like I taught earlier, we really want to make sure our back is in that proper posture before doing this, okay? We don't want to do rounded shoulders. You are not exercising the right muscle if we do it that way. Bring your shoulders back and down, up, good, and to the side. When we're doing this, awesome. Okay, we've got 3 more. When we're doing this though, we want to squeeze our abdominals, okay? This sounds silly, but a way that you can identify where those muscles are is you pant like a dog, like this, okay? Super silly, you're gonna feel funny doing it, but when you pant, you're gonna feel that muscle in your belly, and that is what you want to tighten as you're exercising, okay? Good, so that was your 10 reps. We're gonna do 3 sets, all right? Take a little rest in between each one. But when you're exercising, you want to think about your whole body. You might be thinking, oh, I'm just exercising my arms, but you want to make sure your center of balance is right. So are you putting a lot of weight on your toes or a lot of weight on your heels? Are you leaning forward? Are you doing a pelvic tilt out or a pelvic tilt forward? Is your back right? There's so many things to think about before exercising, okay? So make sure slight weight on your toes. You want to create that perfect triangle. Little weight on your big toe, little weight on your pinky toe, little weight on your heel, okay? Evenly distributed. Slight bend in your knees. Back, your shoulders back. Squeezing your shoulder blades together, okay? And then we're going to drive that pinky, just like I said. Ready? Starting right now. 1. Good. Why do we drive with our pinky, you might ask? Why is our pinky up like we're pouring out the water? Well, when we do that, we are perfectly aligning our shoulder blades to be able to move up properly, okay? You don't want to feel any pinching or tightening in your shoulders. You just want to feel the strain of the movement. Good. There shouldn't be any pain, all right? Forward and to the side. Good. Forward and to the side. If there is pain, you really want to first check how your posture is. If your posture is wrong, if you're bending your shoulders forward, this could cause a lot of pain in your back or in your neck, okay? So you really want to make sure shoulders are right, up, and to the side. Good. We're going to do 3 more. Up, and to the side, up, to the side. Last one, up, and to the side. Good. All right. Relax. Be loose. I'm going to do the last one seated just so you can see that. All right. Ready? We're going to start again in 5, 4, 3, 2, and let's go. Good. Out and to the side. See, it's the exact same movement, same motion, not too much to modify. All right. And I'm hoping that when you saw me grab the water bottles and you thought to yourself, I could probably handle more weight. Well, these water bottles get heavy fast, okay? It's such a little motion, but when you do it repeated, you really start to wear on those muscles, which is a good thing. And tomorrow, when you try to wash your hair, I'm hoping that you're tired and you can't, and you think of me, and you think, oh, those water bottles got heavy really fast. Good. Ready? 2. Nice. Last one. Forward and to the side. Good. So you just finished exercise number 1. Let's move on to number 2. Exercise number 2, we are going to keep holding those water bottles and we're going to move into rows is what we call them, okay? I'm going to show you the modified version first. We're going to be seated in a chair with the modified version. We want to make sure that posture's still proper, right? Shoulders back and shoulders down. And we're going to give it a slight lean forward, okay? The goal of going forward is you're going to let the weight fall in front of you, and we're going to bring our elbows up while keeping the water bottles nice and tight to our body, okay? That last part should be, the water bottle should reach your rib cage, but you're keeping your elbows tight to you, okay? No chicken wings here. We're going to bring it up and down. The more difficult version is going to be standing up, okay? We're going to put the weight a little bit more on our toes. We're going to sink down, bringing our hips back with our chest forward, okay? Don't bring your shoulders forward, chest forward, okay? Weight goes right down, bring it up to your rib cage, and set it down. Good. So we're going to begin. 1, 2, good. 3, we're going to go to 10 reps. 4, good. 5, nice. I'm going to look forward just so you can see my elbows. They're going back and forward. Good. Totally lost count. We're going to say that's 7. Nice. If you get an extra one in there, awesome. 8, 9, and 10. Good. When we're doing this exercise, we want to make sure you are really squeezing your shoulder blades together at the top, okay? When we do this, we're not just exercising our back, or what we call in the fitness industry our wings, okay? We're also exercising our scapulas, which is the muscles, I can barely even point to it, but they're right in the center of your back. And when you exercise those, that's the muscle that helps you with that posture, okay? So it's a super important exercise. And I love to be able to do it for my adult classes because so many of us are at a desk every day where we're learning to do this, or we're sitting in a chair, or whatever we're doing. We really want to practice that good posture and exercising those muscles, okay? Let's jump right back into it. Hips back, water bottles forward, and go. Up, down, nice. 2, 3, good. 4, and 5, and 6, 7, good, tight breathing, squeeze your abdominals, 7, 8, 9, and 10, good. When we're doing these exercises, like I said, it's important to be able to focus on every muscle, which means you want to have tight, squeeze your belly, squeeze your glutes as you're doing this exercise. You can be working so much in such a little movement, okay? A more advanced version of this, I would suggest that you do one of your arms at a time. Often, you'll see people in the gym leaning over on their equipment, right? So that gives them the opportunity to really lower and just focus and isolate on one muscle at a time. So you bring it up and to the side, okay? That's the more advanced version because you can add more weight to it if needed. You can grab a heavier water bottle if you have it, or you could even grab luggage or any bag that you put extra weight in. That would be the more advanced version of that exercise. Another way that you can do this, let's go back into it. Ready, 3, 2, and go. Another way to really make sure you're doing this exercise right, you think of pulling a lawnmower, right? Pulling that string. That's how you want to get into it. You want to go up, squeeze, and back down. Good, halfway there. 6, 7, 8, squeeze at the top, squeeze, 9, squeeze, and 10. Good. So that's like I showed you on the chair. The more advanced version, it's easier to add weight because you're isolating it just to one arm. If you were doing it on the chair, perfectly fine. We're gonna slowly move up as we go, okay? So you just finished exercise number 2. I hope you are not tired of holding these water bottles yet because we're not putting them down quite yet, okay? We're gonna do tricep extensions. Tricep extensions can be seated or standing. You could do seated. If you're doing seated, what I want to encourage you to do is to not push your butt out, okay? When we're sitting down, it's often we can push our belly forward, okay? And we're creating this really round arch in our back. We want to avoid that as much as possible. So go ahead and sit back into your chair as much as you can when doing this exercise. Still, we want to have our shoulders back. We're gonna put the water bottles right next to our ears. We're gonna try and get our biceps to cover our ears, okay? This is our starting position. When we do our movement, we're gonna push our elbows out. We're gonna push our arms out into the extended position, okay? The more advanced version would just be the same movement, but standing. And I wanna get closer because I really wanna show you, this is the muscle we're gonna be working. This muscle that a lot of people maybe want to get rid of. Maybe they call them bingo wings. Whatever you prefer to call them, this is something we don't always like. So this is an exercise for you, okay? When we're doing this, you really want to focus on that extension period. When we're going up, this is when you want to squeeze. You want to squeeze it really tight, and you bring it down. Ready? 1, 2, good. Tighten it, super tight at the top. 3, good. 4, and 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Last one, 10. Good. I want to just talk about this real fast. I cannot communicate with you, obviously, so if you feel pain, this is an exercise that's more common for feeling pain, often in your elbows, okay? I cannot diagnose what's happening, but if you feel a pain in your elbow, it's most likely something in the fitness industry we call tennis elbow. And I'm saying most likely because I have no idea what previous conditions you may have, but that's a very common term that's used for this exercise. And you might think to yourself, but I don't play tennis, why would I have pain there? Well, does this position look familiar? Or this one, you texting on your phone, looking at your phone, holding something like this. It creates this buildup. When we hold our arm like this, it creates a buildup in our elbow that can really cause a lot of pain. And it's just the movement and mobility not being utilized properly, which happens a lot and it's very common. So if you feel that pain, go ahead and rub your arm right here. You want to rub it. Sometimes you can even feel your fingers twitch a little bit. It's a little painful, but you kind of want to break up that tissue that's there, if that is what is most likely there, is a little tennis elbow. You want to press it, rub it out, and then get back into the exercise, okay? So let's get back to it. We're going to bring that water bottle right next to our ears, and we're going to bring it up and back down. Good. 2, awesome, 3. I'm gonna look forward so you can see my elbows and how tight they are. You don't wanna bring your elbows out. You wanna bring them nice and tight, close to your face, okay? The more out we go, the less we are exercising our triceps. All right, up and back down. And in the fitness industry, when you're talking, you for sure lose count all the time. So hopefully we're at 7, because that's where I'm gonna stay. 8, 9, and 10. Good. Okay, we're gonna do one more set of those, so go ahead and relax. This is another exercise that when you get, people desire this, the horseshoe shape, and this is an exercise that is very common, that you can do in lots of different variations. You can do it laying down, you can do it sitting down. I like to do it standing up. You can do it with a cable, you can do it with whatever, just a regular weight. You can do a lot of different hand motions, so it's very common that this one's the most maybe widely seen exercise, and it's super easy. All you need is a water bottle or some light weight, and you can do it almost anywhere. And who doesn't want to get rid of a little wing? So let's do it one more time. You can do this sitting down. You can do this when you're bored watching TV, anything. 3, 4, 5, good, halfway there. 6, 7, 8, 9, last one, and 10. Awesome. So this is like one of the best exercises you can do. Super easy, super simple, and that you just completed exercise 3. All right, I wanted to change the camera angle for this one because I really wanted you to see an exercise against the wall and a chair exercise. The reason we're against the wall though is that the chair needs to be at a place where it's not going to slide out from under you, okay? When you're putting a lot of weight or pressure on it, we want to avoid any injury, and we want to make sure whatever we're using is very stable and isn't going to fall when we put our body weight on it, okay? So I'm going to make sure my chair isn't going to move, it's against the wall. I'm going to use this bar as well for one of my exercises, but this could be the back of a couch for you, it could be the back of a chair, it could be a desk or a table, anything that's a little bit higher up for one of our modifications. Our first exercise we're going to do against the wall is going to be our push-ups. There's a lot of different variations of push-ups depending on your level, okay? The first one I'm going to show you is the more simple one. You're going to have your hands just wider than shoulder width apart, okay? You're going to place them on the wall with a slight lean. You want to make sure you're up on your toes, which I can't show you at the moment, but pretend I'm on my tippy toes, okay? You want to go into the push-up just like so. Your elbows are going to bend. You're going to very gently get as close to the wall as you can and back up. Do you notice that my whole body is moving like a plank? From my head to my toe, we're moving in one motion. I am not bringing it into an improper posture where it's just my upper half, or maybe I'm arching my back like so. You want to create that, pretend there is a pole from your head to your toe and you cannot bend it. You're going to go down and back up, okay? That's one variation. You can move a little bit lower to either that upper couch area or a table. You can even move lower to the chair, which is what I'm going to show you now, okay? Where your hands are going to be placed on the chair, like so, and you can do your push-up from here. You're going to go down and up, okay? I hit my head on it, so make sure you are at a safe distance, and whatever you're using is good for you. You can also do one on the floor, which I'm going to show you as well. Chair. And on the floor, you can either do a simple on your knees or from your toes, okay? Can you see me? I'm going to scoot a little bit further back so you can see me. Perfect, okay. So we can either do one on your knees, which is what we call a modification push-up going down, or you can go from your toes, okay? This is the most advanced version where we go down and up, okay? We're going to get 10 push-ups, whatever level you feel comfortable with, okay? So it can be on the chair, it could be on the desk, it could be on the wall. All right, I'm going to show you for time's sake just the upper bar for me, maybe a couch for you, okay? So we're gonna bring it all the way to our chest and back up. Good, ready? And 1, 2, 3. We wanna make sure we're breathing in as we go down, out as we go up. Good. And back. Good. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Because of the camera angle, I can't go all the way down before I hit my head on the wall. But you really want to get a lot of range of motion, okay? You want to go down as far as you can, either having your chest touch or your nose touch to where your destination is, and back up, okay? This one can be modified as well if it starts to hurt your wrist. That's when you would go to the chair, because you can change the angle of how your hands are positioned when you're on the chair. So I'll show you that one next. When you're holding on to the chair, you don't have to lay your hands flat. You can hold onto the chair and get the same motion, like so. So you go down, ready, and begin. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. Just like so. So that it's a little bit easier on a lot of grip. I know my mom has to wear a brace, and she can do those modified push-ups when it's at a straight angle, because when you're holding on to something, you're making a straight angle and you're not up here, where that can cause a few issues. All right, the next exercise I want to show you when we're against the wall, against the bar for me, maybe a couch for you, and the chair, are tricep dips, okay? This one, super awesome. We're gonna work out that same muscle earlier, our triceps. When we're doing so, what we wanna create is a way for us to bend our elbows back and up. This is the easier, more simple modification. You wanna take maybe 2 steps in front of the bar, front of the couch, and you want to lean into the weight and back up, keeping a nice 90-degree angle at the bottom and up, okay? That's our tricep dips. We can also do it on a chair, which is the more preferred method if you can do so. I'm going to show you a simple version on the chair and a more advanced version on the chair, okay? So the simple version is with our legs bent. They're still supporting our weight, okay? They're nice and close to you. You're going to go down, bring your butt down, and press up. Your legs are helping you come back up though. So the more advanced version would you be putting your legs out and not being able to support your weight anymore, okay? So that's advanced because it's all isolated to your triceps, okay? So if we get a few of those for after your workout, that's the best case scenario. You really want to tire those triceps out. So like I said, tomorrow when you're washing your hair, you're like, oh, ah, that is awesome. And that is our workout for today. And please come in next week in our virtual rec at elcajonerec.org, and you can see more things like this and lots of other stuff. So please do so.